Crucial update for Bitcoin. This is London with Bitcoin Spike. Potential bull flag in play. I want to talk about the specifics here. Yesterday, we notified you of this specific bull pennant moved to the downside resistance support. I notified you of that in the formation and the warning that we would contact the resistance and bam, recontact the support. Certainly, we did. We contacted the resistance back down to support, even trying to break out of that top line resistance. This is a 30-minute time frame. We failed to break out of the upside of the bull pennant. As you know, the catch pattern, just so that you know, and I'm a former financial professional, but not financial advice, you guys know that. In terms of this catch pattern, in terms of the, let's say, the bull pennant, would always be looking for a bull flag. I want to let you know the carry down function of the top of essentially the symmetrical triangulation. One of the targets to the downside would just be a carry down function of that top line resistance. The same goes for the upside. If you're ever trading any symmetrical triangle, which a bull pennant necessarily entails that symmetrical triangulation after this nice run to the upside, we would hope on a bull pennant we would get the entirety of the repeat of that, essentially the flagpole. Okay, we would expect that to run to the upside. We discussed that yesterday in terms of the bull flag. Let's discuss the difficulties right now. We have picked up a longer line of support. We still have not recontacted. If we look at the 5-minute time frame, we have not recontacted this bottom level prior resistance. There are orders at this level. We've gotten close. I mentioned yesterday within the probabilities that we would head down towards this specific area, guys, towards that specific, prior resistance. Show me prior resistance. I'll show you orders in this level. So the market is still likely heavily loaded up with orders at this specific level of that 41,458. In terms of the bull flag, we have some differentiation across the top. If you go to the candle wicks, please pay attention to your candle wicks. We have some variation across the top side. If you go from the lines to the candles, and this is on the different time frames as well, you'll see some differentiation on the different time frames. That level of resistance across the top, on that 30-minute time frame. For instance, on the 5-minute time frame, you will see just the beginning of the variation there on the lines, which is thereafter even extended up on the candle wick. So it's going to be a very difficult pattern to break out of. I will state that. In terms of the attraction of the buyers, it's not going to be a clean breakout because of those levels of variation. Nonetheless, because we're achieving I'd say a rough technical conformance with the notion of a bull flag, which is that channel framework to the downside. And guys, it would require a breakout, just to cover the details here. It would require a breakout through that level of, essentially, we would need a pattern formation. It would even be expected that in terms of a natural classical bull flag, that we would contact resistance again, pull back to support, then up and out of the bull flag. Now, in terms of that bull flag completion to the upside, please pay attention. This becomes a bit interesting in terms of the line of support. I want to shout out to the VIP. What's up, VIP? Way to go in the back rooms, etc. If you guys want to join our VIP, way to go. We are excited. OC, Abdallah, etc. You guys join up. Level of support, level of resistance. In terms of that overall channel line formation that we have, level of support and resistance, okay? What we would look at in terms of the completion to the bull flag would just be, essentially, depending upon the breakout area, again, the flagpole repeated to the upside would carry us up to that line of resistance. I would say this is not the cleanest bull flag. If you're looking for a clean pattern play, this would not be the one. Okay, we've had much cleaner plays throughout the last several weeks, really, here as we have consolidated in the last 60 days or so. Talking about one additional feature that we would look at, I want you to be aware of right now. This line of resistance across the top, line of support across the bottom, that triangulation, okay, we are within a triangulation, okay, in terms of the breakout in this zone here, the bull flag would represent, let's go through this. Let me go ahead and put this as dash. Let me go ahead and bolden up this line. You'll see that constriction, okay, that constriction, which has been compromised on the lower time frames. I'll say on the lower time frames. We're currently trying to reconfirm off that prior level of resistance to formulate it into support on the lower time frames. You will see that that level has been compromised. Okay, we have compromised down and below that specific level of prior resistance. It's a big deal, just so that you know. We want to maintain that prior resistance. There's even some variation in terms of the technicals. We just have to deal with the different time frames. Always look for confirmation. That includes all of your indicators and all of your time frames. So I would go to the 30-minute, for instance, and look at the specific constriction. You'll just notice between that level of support, level of resistance, the 30-minute is not very generous. We're still underneath that level of resistance across the top that internalizes. I would go back to the hourly. that internalized, it's a symmetrical triangulation, extended symmetrical triangulation that is operating within the overall dynamics. Here we go, that internalized, okay, symmetrical triangulation that is operating within the entirety of the larger frame constriction or symmetrical triangulation. So it's a real touch and go situation in terms of Bitcoin. It's not ideal patterning. If you're checking your different time frames and you're not seeing, I'd say, the confirmation that you're looking for, that clear buy signal or sell signal, I would just remind you to stick to, I'd say, your favorite time frame. Look at that. Always check the 5 minute. I'm going to say always check that 5 minute. The 30 minute has been a little difficult to deal with. So make sure you check in with that 30 minute and see what variation it provides. In addition, stay alert, guys. Stay definitely alert. And in terms of those candle wicks, definitely pay attention to those. It could complicate the breakout to the upside. Hopefully, the target is going to be in line at least with this line of resistance across the top. I'll just definitely state that. That is the one norm that we could say. Some people say, well, the resistance is going to repel the price action. At times, it'll act as a magnet for the price action. So that's how we like to think of it as well, as we look forward to positive price action. Never overexposed at any higher price. And let me just remind you that this specific lower level is a key feature in terms of this prior resistance here. There are orders. We're not far away. We got within. Let's just measure this real quickly. We stated it was within the probability to return to that level. We got within $307 of that specific level. So it was pretty close. Are the buyers done with this level? Are they still loaded up at this lower level? I'll tell you, at some point as we continue to push laterally, it will require a breakout or a breakdown, and this is important, please pay attention, a breakdown from this specified level of support, okay, this level of support that's holding at some point, getting back to this lower level as support, or as the prior resistance is tested as support. Getting back down to this specified level may require a breach of this level of support. So that could be a big issue as we look at maintaining the price trajectory to the upside in a channel formation. We may be looking at a breach scenario if there are not enough buyers to propel this up in the formulation of a bull flag. So in terms of the strategy, never overexpose at any higher price, and buy at support, sell at resistance. Trade your patterns. Not the best pattern here. We've had much better over the preceding weeks, but I still, nonetheless, because we're in a rough, I'd say a rough conformance, level of conformance with the technicals, and we could, and I'll say this, we could establish a more, I'd say a more solid framework within the parameters of the required bull flag. Move to the upside, we would need to recontact this level of resistance, that it may be game time. This is London. Want to let you guys know in terms of this bull pennant. Congratulations to those who traded. Remember, buy at support, sell at resistance, or long at support and short at resistance. Don't get involved in your shorts at a low price. You want to engage your shorts at a higher price, right, at resistance. So, and we want to engage those longs or those purchases, those spot purchases in terms of those levels of support. So buy low, sell high, and long, low, and short high. Guys, this is London. Hope you're doing well. Look forward to this stream soon. Angel, so glad you could join us on that last stream. And we look forward to more streams soon with all of you. This is London with Bitcoin Spike.